Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to consider not just the emotional appeals made by my opposing side, but the real-world consequences of their proposal. We've laid out a clear, evidence-based case against raising the federal minimum wage to $19 an hour. Let me debunk my opponents and recap the key points that highlight why our stance is more practical, sustainable, and the best choice for you American patriots. Starting with the economic devastation for small businesses and workers. We emphasize that a sudden drastic increase in wages would cripple small businesses, the cornerstones of our American communities. When a small business faces skyrocketing labor costs, they don't absorb those blows. They cut jobs, reduce hours, or close entirely. Our opponents claim this wouldn't happen because the increase is gradual. But even gradual increases to unsustainable levels have already shown adverse effects. My opponents use an example from UC Berkeley, California, telling studies claiming no significant job losses, but in reality, businesses like Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Chipotle have already turned to automation and cutting labor costs where possible. If the minimum wage reaches $19 an hour, entry-level workers, especially those in the fast food and retail sectors, will find themselves replaced by machines and have no job. Allow me to debunk my opponents again and their delusional view that businesses won't automate or adjust pricing. Automation is not a distant future. It's happening right now. Self-checkouts, AI restaurants, and automated delivery are already cutting jobs in states experimenting with high wages. Our opponents' dismissal of this reality is not only naive, but a disservice to the workers they claim to champion. Inflation will devour wage increases. We warned that a higher wage would lead to inflation, effectively nullifying any gains for workers. When labor costs rise, businesses pass those costs to consumers in the form of higher prices. The opponent's vision of people affording groceries and homes ignores the fundamental economic principle. Groceries, rent, and other necessities will become expensive, erasing any benefit of a higher wage. We've already seen this play out in states with higher minimum wages where prices rise, making it harder, not easier, for workers to get by. My opponent's out-of-touch fairy tale style suggestion suggests that inflation won't increase because the wage hike is gradual, fails to account for basic economics, whether it's immediate or over 10 years, and the end result is going to be the same, ladies and gentlemen. Businesses adjust, prices rise, and workers are no better off. The policy is a band-aid solution to a complex problem. Unlike the opposition, we look at the big picture. Raising the minimum wage incrementally to the reasonable level, such as $12 an hour by 2029, allows economic prosperity and to adapt without devastating small businesses or targeting inflation, right? No, we don't want to trigger that. This approach balances the needs of workers and employers, preserve job opportunities for level entry workers, and ensure that economic growth remains sustainable. Moreover, we understand the unique fabric of American innovation and opportunity. We don't want economic machines replacing millions of workers. We don't want a future where businesses close. We don't want communities suffering and workers are trapped in a cycle of unemployment. Our policies ensure that the American dream remains in reach of everyone.